Okay, so are you ready to dive deep into the story of someone who's a musical icon, but you might not even realize how much you already love her music? Cissy Houston.
This is going to be amazing.
You clearly have great taste in music history if you want to go deeper than just Whitney's mom.
Absolutely.
And with all these articles and research you've shared,
Yeah.
we're going to uncover the woman behind the voice.
And that voice, my friend, is really where like gospel soul and R&B royalty all intersect. This isn't just like a biography. This is a sonic history lesson.
Oh, wow.
Revealing how Cissy's career, it like ran parallel to and often predates some of the biggest moments in music.
I am so here for that. This first article I'm looking at has me floored. 5 years old.
Yeah.
5, little Emily Drinkard back in New York, singing gospel with her family. I can't even imagine having that kind of talent at that age.
You know, it's more than talent. It speaks volumes about the world that she came up in. Gospel music wasn't just like Sunday service music. It was like the fabric of life.
Right.
You know, think community, think raw emotion, think reaching a spiritual plane through song.
Wow.
The Drinkard singers weren't aiming for like top 40 radio. They were touching souls. They were even performing at Carnegie Hall by the late 50s.
Carnegie Hall. At that age.
Yeah.
Talk about starting at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, did that experience influence her later work at all?
Oh, absolutely. It instilled this deep sense of discipline and musicianship and stage presence that would become like her trademarks.
Right.
But also imagine the musicality in that family. I mean, Cissy's nieces Dee Dee and Dionne Warwick got their start singing with the Drinkards.
Whoa, wait a minute. Dionne Warwick.
Yes.
We're talking about a musical dynasty here.
Exactly. And this is all before the 1960s even hit. Things get really interesting then. The sweet inspirations are formed.
Okay.
And suddenly it's not just Carnegie Hall. It's Cissy's voice backing up Aretha Franklin, Dusty Springfield, Elvis Presley.
No way. That's her on all those hits?
Yes.
I had no idea what made her like such a sought-after collaborator. What did she bring to the table that these legends needed?
I mean, think about the sheer power and range of her voice.
Oh, yeah.
But even beyond that, she possessed this uncanny ability to blend, to elevate, to add that touch of soul that makes a song unforgettable.
Right.
For instance, her work on Son of a Preacher Man with Dusty Springfield.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a perfect example of Cissy's signature churchy inflections, that subtle gospel grit that adds such depth and emotion.
You know what? You're so right. I can hear it now that you mention it.
Mm-hmm.
There's this richness, this depth to the backup vocals that I never fully appreciated before. It's like she's adding an entire other dimension to the song.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, this is all while navigating a music industry that was rife with challenges for Black artists.
Oh, absolutely.
Cissy never let that dim her light, though. She persevered with such grace and talent, commanding respect and ultimately shaping the sound of a generation.
And she wasn't content to just be a background vocalist forever, right?
You know what? In 1969, she releases her debut album, Presenting Cissy Houston. This wasn't just some, like, side project, though. This was a declaration.
Okay.
We're talking full-fledged gospel power.
Right.
Infused with jazz and pop influences, all delivered with Cissy's signature raw emotion.
And that raw emotion resonated with audiences and critics alike, right? Because she won her first Grammy that same year.
Save the Children.
A gospel masterpiece. And it's important to note, this win wasn't just a personal triumph for Cissy. It was a pivotal moment for Black gospel artists everywhere.
Wow.
It was a testament to Cissy's incredible talent and a symbol of progress in an industry that had often overlooked Black artists.
Wow, that sends chills down my spine. But it wasn't just gospel where she left her mark. This article here mentions Think It Over. What's the story behind that track?
Think It Over, a personal favorite.
Okay.
It embodies everything that makes Cissy's solo work so captivating.
Okay.
You hear that gospel foundation, of course.
Right.
But then there's this bluesy, soulful grit that just pulls you in.
Yeah.
And when she belts out those high notes, pure magic.
It showcases her control, her range, and that incredible ability to convey raw emotion.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my interest. I'm adding that to my playlist ASAP. But I can't help but wonder, did these solo experiences differ greatly from her time as a backup singer?
Mm-hmm.
Did those experiences influence her own music?
That's a great question, and it leads us right into the heart of Cissy's artistic journey. It's like those backup singing years weren't just her lending a voice. They were like an immersive masterclass.
Right.
You know, Cissy was in the studio with legends.
Yeah.
She was soaking up their techniques, their stage presence, their work ethic.
Wow.
She learned from the best, honing her skills, shaping her artistry, and discovering her own unique voice amidst those really powerful collaborations.
Like she was earning a PhD in soul music while sharing the stage with the greats.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that education is palpable in her solo work.
Yeah.
There's a confidence, a command of her instrument that comes from years of experience and a deep understanding of her craft.
And speaking of understanding her craft, we can't talk about Cissy Houston without talking about Whitney Houston. This article about Cissy's passing mentions her memoir, Remembering Whitney.
Right.
And it sounds like she wasn't afraid to get real about the joys, Andy, the challenges of being both a mother and a fellow artist in such a demanding industry.
Yeah, it's a side of Cissy we don't often hear about.
Right.
You know, we see the glamorous Grammy winner, the
Right.
powerhouse vocalist.
Of course.
But underneath it all, she was a mother who loved deeply and fiercely.
Yeah.
And yes, she was brutally honest about the complexities of their relationship, especially in light of Whitney's very public struggles.
That takes incredible strength.
Did Cissy ever talk about the challenges of, like, watching her daughter navigate fame?
Mm-hmm.
Especially given the scrutiny she herself faced as a Black woman in the music industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cissy understood the weight of those expectations, the pressure to conform the double standards that Black artists, especially women, faced.
Right.
She knew firsthand the importance of staying true to yourself,
Yeah.
of using your voice to break down barriers and demand recognition.
And she instilled those values in Whitney, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Not just the vocal prowess, but that inner strength,
Mm-hmm.
that refusal to be defined by others' expectations.
Precisely. And it wasn't just through words either. It was through
Yeah.
example.
Right.
Cissy's own career was a testament to perseverance, to pushing boundaries, to never compromising your artistry or your integrity. It's incredible to think about the impact she had on generations of artists.
Yeah.
Both directly through her mentorship of Whitney and indirectly through her unwavering pursuit of musical excellence.
And let's not forget the spiritual foundation that underpinned everything Cissy did.
Right.
From those early days singing gospel in Newark to finding solace and guidance in her faith later in life.
Yeah.
It was this constant source of strength and inspiration for her.
It's like a full circle moment, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
From singing gospel with her family as a child to passing down that legacy of faith and music to her own children.
Absolutely.
It's a powerful testament to the enduring power of both.
You said it. And it's a reminder that Cissy's story is about so much more than just the music.
Oh, for sure.
As incredible as it is, it's about family resilience, faith, and an unwavering commitment to your craft, your community, and yourself.
It's almost like we need to reframe how we view her, to give her the recognition she deserves, not just as Whitney's mother, but as a musical pioneer.
Yeah.
A vocal powerhouse.
Yes.
A mentor and an inspiration.
I couldn't agree more. Cissy Houston's story is one of triumph over adversity, of using your voice to uplift and inspire.
Wow.
It's a story that deserves to be celebrated, remembered, and shared.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure that happens? How do we shift the narrative and give Cissy Houston her due?
I think it starts with recognizing her as, like, the complex, multifaceted individual that she was, not just Whitney's mom, but Cissy Houston, the artist.
Right.
The woman who shared the stage with legends, shaped the sound of soul and gospel, and just poured her heart and soul into every single note she sang.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in the narrative of Whitney's life, the highs and lows.
Yeah.
But we're talking about decades of Cissy's own influence, both before and after Whitney hit the scene.
That's the danger of those shorthand labels.
Yeah.
You lose sight of the individual, the years of dedication, the unique journey they took to get there. Cissy wasn't some footnote. She was a force of nature, a driving force in the evolution of American music.
Yeah, it's like those background vocals we talked about earlier.
Right.
They may not always be the loudest element in the mix, but they add depth, texture, that special something that makes a song unforgettable.
Right.
Cissy was that for so many artists, and then some.
Perfectly put. And she brought that same richness to her roles as mentor, mother, community figure.
Yeah.
She navigated it all with the same grace and strength that she brought to the recording studio.
So for someone listening to this, someone just now realizing the depth and breadth of Cissy Houston's legacy, where do they even begin? What's the first step in truly appreciating her impact?
I'd say start by really listening.
Okay.
Go beyond the hits, dive into those solo albums like Presenting Cissy Houston and think it over.
Sure.
Pay attention to those background vocals on your favorite soul and gospel tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the nuances, the power, the sheer control in her voice.
You know you've inspired me.
Yeah.
Next time I hear Think by Aretha Franklin, I'm going to be listening with a whole new appreciation knowing the Cissy Houston magic woven into those harmonies.
Exactly. And as you explore her music, remember, you're not just hearing notes.
Right.
You're hearing a life lived with passion, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to her art. That's the legacy of Cissy Houston.
Beautifully said. And for everyone listening, I hope this deep dive has left you with a newfound appreciation for the woman behind the voice, the icon, the legend.
Yeah.
Cissy Houston. Go out there, explore her music, and let her story inspire you to find and use your own unique voice.